One of the best ways to create an online business is by using a formula called AIDA. This stands for attraction, interest, desire, and action. In the book .com Secrets, Russell Brunson gives us a step-by-step guide to start and grow an online business. We do this by productizing your ideas and knowledge to allow you to build a business around your life instead of the other way around. Let's say that you like to travel and have experience traveling the world on a budget. You are great at strategizing your travels to find luxury vacations at good prices. You realize that there are many millennials out there who are very interested in budget traveling. So you decide to turn your experience into a business by productizing your knowledge and selling it to those who are interested. But how do we do that? Russell says that to build an effective business, you should have different tiers of products to fit with your customers' level of interest and even their budget. For example, you are great at budget traveling, so you start by creating a 2-page guide to help people find the best deals in air travel, and you give it out for free. Then you write a 150-page ebook where you show your audience the 5 different strategies you use to travel the world on a budget. Then you sell the book for $20. But if customers want your help directly, they can pay you $300 for a personal travel planning session. But for the few who want to become just as good as you are at planning budget travel, you can hold a $3,000 overseas retreat with hands-on coaching, where you show them the exact process you use to do it yourself. This price ascending model can be adapted to pretty much any type of online business. If you are a fitness coach, you can start with a simple guide, then a workout and nutrition planning session, then eventually weekly or daily coaching sessions and accountability tracking. This will allow you to meet your customers at their level. If someone doesn't know who you are yet, they can get the free content. Once they recognize that you have good value to offer, then they might want to commit a little more and buy your book. Then schedule a session with you, and the few who really want to work with you can buy the highest tier. But once you know what you will sell, it's time to sell it. First, we start with attention. The beginning of your sales funnel is all about getting the attention of your potential customers. Now, there are 2 ways to do this: organic and paid. The benefit of organic attention is that it's free. You can use social media platforms to create content and start developing an audience that will be interested in what you have to offer. The only downside to organic reach is that it can be quite slow and unpredictable at times. The benefit of paid attention is that you can immediately start getting attention as soon as you run the ads. It is much faster and you have much more control over who sees your content. The downside is that it costs money and it can be a little more complex to understand and do it effectively. But as people view your content, many people become interested in what you have to offer. The next step is to identify those people who become interested. You do this by giving them your first product for free. This will separate those who are actually interested from those who are just browsing. At this stage, you have 2 main objectives. First, you want to get them to know you and what you offer. And second, you want to lead those who are interested into a platform where you can communicate with them for free. This could be an email list, which you own, where you can send emails directly to them, or something like a Facebook group, which you don't necessarily own, but can still be a good way to communicate with your interested audience, although your priority should be to build an email list first. As people begin joining your email list, you can either focus on creating an immediate sale and offer your next product right away, or you can focus on creating ongoing communication for a few more days with an email newsletter and continue to deliver more valuable content for free. As you continue to nurture your relationship with your audience, you show them the results of your experience and the potential value they can get from it. This begins creating desire. As you build desire, you begin inviting them to learn more about your paid products. This is where you lead them into your sales page, where they can learn about your offer and potentially buy from you. Now here's the trick. The entire page must be dedicated to selling one single product. At this point, you don't want them to get distracted with other things you might offer. The goal of this sales page is to sell one thing and one thing only. And to do that, your sales page needs to have 3 main elements. An attention grabber. Your headline will be one of the first things that people see, so this headline must be crafted to catch people's attention. Your value proposition. Here's where you showcase the value that your product will provide. This will either be a video, copywriting, or both. And a call to action. This is where you invite people to buy your product. And if you want me to go deeper into the anatomy of a sales page, let me know in the comments below. Now at this point, you have led your prospects to the action stage. As people click to buy your product, they will be directed to your order page. This is where the customers put their information to buy the product. At this point, people have already decided to buy from you, which means that they see your products as valuable. So the next step is to focus on two things: delivering more value and maximizing your revenue. Enter the upsell. This is where you offer an additional product or service as your customer completes their purchase. There are two main ways to do an upsell: the low cost and the upgrade. If you're offering an additional product with a similar price point or lower than your original product, then you can have an add-on button right before the purchase button. For example, if you're selling a $25 book, you can create an add-on button offering to also grab your second book for $20. Many will say yes, turning this $25 sale into a $45 sale, almost doubling your revenue. But if you're offering a $300 product after a $25 book purchase, a good idea would be to have an additional sales page after they click the purchase button. This is because you will need to create another value proposition for this additional product. This goes without saying, but your second product must be complementary to the first product. It would be a little odd to offer a fitness program as an upsell to a computer software book. At this point, you might think this sales process is done, but not so fast. So far in the process, you've gotten people's attention, spiked their interest, created desire, and led to action. Your customers are excited to enter your world and solve a problem. At the end of your purchase, you have your thank you page. This is where you thank and congratulate your customers for purchasing your product. Here's where you give them the next steps to access their product, but also you give them the option to buy your additional products, which will lead your customers to restart another purchase cycle. So, if you're a travel and a budget expert, your funnel can go like this. First, you create valuable content that will catch the attention of your future customers. Then you give those who are interested your 2-page guide for free in exchange for their email address. Then you continue to deliver valuable content through your email newsletter, while offering your book with the 5 strategies to travel on a budget. So you send them to a sales page where you showcase the value of the book. As they go to buy your book, you have an add-on button where, for an additional $10, they can also purchase your digital workbook where they can plan their travel budget. And once they buy your book, they are greeted with a video of you saying, "Congratulations for buying the book. The book is on the way and the workbook will be on your email shortly." In the meantime, I'd like to show you the 3 most common mistakes people make when booking their travel. Here, you continue to showcase the value of your expertise and how much money they can save on their travels if planned correctly. And at the end, you offer your travel planning session for $300. And lastly, they are led to your thank you page where you congratulate them on the purchase and you give them access to an additional page where they can learn more about your 2-day overseas retreat, which is your highest tier program for those who are serious about their travel budgeting. And by the way, guys, if you like more of this type of content, the more strategic type of content, let me know in the comments and we'll dive deeper into business, marketing, and strategy books. And as always, thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video.